Hello everyone, what's going on, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from what I normally do. I normally do Let's Plays and stuff like that, but today we're going to be doing a video on WoW. Now, this is going to be my first video on WoW, so, kind of bear with me. Most of the stuff's just going to be like a first time thing. Don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to make like a format to try to, I guess, explain things a little bit better. So this is going to be the first video for that, and what I'm going to be talking about is resto shamans. Now, this whole point of this video is going to be from level 1 to 60 for each class. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Alright guys, so as you guys can see, right now we are in Shatra City, which is in the Outlands. And I'm basically right now only level 63, so I just hit 60. Haven't been spending a whole lot of time on this character, but basically I want to talk to you guys about spells. So as you guys can tell, there's a lot of spells in here that I'm not actually using, mainly because they're not viable, or they don't do as much as they should, especially while your spec is resto. So basically all the stuff that I have down in my action bar right now is pretty much all the healing spells that you're going to need. So obviously you have your 3 damage spells, which you get for each spec. For Shaman, you have Lightning Bolt, you have Lava Burst, and you have Flame Shock. Now pretty much anytime you get into a fight in PVE, when you're doing questing and stuff like that, you're gonna go ahead and shoot your Flame Shock first, because it's an instant and it does dots, which is damage over time. And then you can either choose to do Lava Burst or Lightning Bolt, doesn't really matter. I'm sure you could find a pretty easy rotation with those. The miscellaneous sort of spells are going to be your Ghost Wolf, your Spirit Walker's Grace, and your Ancestral Spirit. Ghost Wolf is just for movement. Once you hit it, it turns yourself into a wolf. You get 30 or plus 30% movement speed. Spirit Walker's Grace allows you to run around and cast. You don't have to stand still for 15 seconds. And then Ancestral Spirit is basically your res, so you do have to be out of combat for this. So if you're in dungeons and stuff, your tank dies, one of your DPS dies on accident by pulling aggro, because it happens a lot, then you can res them after you're out of combat. Now, I am using a different UI. It shouldn't matter. You should still be able to have around the same hotbars if you're using the classic UI. I pretty much just have a bunch of other misc stuff here, like mobile banking for my guild bank, fishing, alchemy, and water walking, which is another misc spell, which really you don't use that often. And then you can put your pets or whatever, just misc stuff, okay? And then the main healing spells that you're going to want to focus on is Healing Surge, Riptide, Healing Stream Totem, Healing Rain, and Chain Heal. So basically, Healing Surge is going to be the one that you use the most. It does use up a lot of mana, so what you're going to want to do is with your gear, you're going to want to spec for Intellect. So the best thing I would probably say for someone leveling from 1 to 60 is to try to spec for Intellect. The first thing you need to do is, honestly, the easiest way to get Intellect straight off the bat is to buy heirloom items. This staff right here is an heirloom item. As you can tell, it has 72 Intellect. It scales each time you level. So, from 20 to 21, it'll scale up and increase the stats of that item. And to be honest, nothing's going to be better than your heirloom items from when you hit basically 1 to 60. While you're dungeoning, it doesn't matter. Pretty much your heirloom items are going to be the best. Now, once you get into raiding and stuff at level 60, you can have a friend that wants to run you through a raid or whatever. You can start getting raid gear. All this purple stuff that I have on my character right now is raid gear. So basically, like, some of these are from Molten Core, some of these are from NQ, or both NQ, the Temple, and then the Ruins. So, and then trinkets are pretty big. There's a bunch of trinkets that just give you Intellect. As you can see, this one says, equip your healing spells have a chance to grant 259 mana. So while you're healing, you can also get mana back, which is really nice. But like I said, spamming Healing Surge all the time does use up a lot of mana.
I need to
show
target
you right now.
something
I'll just
first.
target myself. As you can see, it does eat up quite a bit of mana each cast, and especially if you're running through a dungeon and you're trying to heal DPS pretty much on your tank while you're running through dungeons and stuff, it does go up pretty quick. So what I would recommend if you're running as a Resto Shaman is to always have your Riptide procced on someone. Basically what it does is it's a hot, so it heals over time. As you can see, it lasts for 15 seconds. So it doesn't do as much as it should, but if you're doing dungeons or if you're just questing with someone and you're scared that you can't out heal the DPS that he's taking, what you can do is before each engagement, you drop a healing stream totem, you drop Riptide on them. You can, if you want to, you can choose to cast Healing Rain. That's, you know, 3 hots right there. And then you can just focus on, maybe that's not doing enough. Maybe your healing stream totem goes away or your healing rain goes away. You can proc a couple healing surges. And especially at level 60, you should have all of your talents pretty much situated. So you're going to want to have, you know, Torrent, because this gives you more healing for your Riptide by 30%. This allows you to get 2 charges for your healing stream totem, Lava Burst, and that's it. So basically, what I'm running for Resto Shaman is called left spec. You basically just do all the ones on the left while you're leveling, and obviously different situations call for different ones. So maybe you want, you know, Wellspring later on for PvP or something like that. Spirit Wolf, this just gives you an additional 30 or 5% increased movement speed. So instead of being 30, it'll be 35. And then Ancestral Vigor just allows you to do more healing. It the targets you heal with Healing Wave, Healing Surge, or Riptide's initial heal gain is increased by 10% for 10 seconds. So basically, you know, left spec is pretty much the way to go for PvE, especially if you're just going to be main healing. Now, if you're doing dungeons a lot and you kind of get bored, especially if you're running with your friends that are kind of lower levels, what you can do is you can just put all your hots down at the very beginning, plus Riptide, and then, you know, I would recommend you doing mouse macros, which are these. You can Google them. They're pretty easy to learn. But basically it's just /cast and then in brackets at cursor and then the spell, okay? And you just drag these into your hotbar, you know, done. So basically, I have one for almost every single one of my healing spells. That one doesn't work, unfortunately, because you can only bind them to 1 spell at a time for mouse macros. But Healing Surge, Healing Wave, Riptide, and Healing Rain are all ones that I would recommend you doing at some sort of mouse macro. Healing Rain is for cursor only, and the rest are for mouse over. So basically what that means is I don't have to target myself to heal myself. All I have to do is put my little mouse over my name, cast the spell, and it'll cast right on me. For Healing Rain, what a cursor spell does is anywhere that your cursor is, it'll cast that spell. So it's pretty nice, you know, to do those because it's just ease of access. So like I said, with a dungeon, going back to my point, is that you can heal someone with your mouse macro, and then you can also have an enemy targeted at the same time. So after you pop down your initial spells, what you can do is while that enemy's targeted, you can cast your Flame Shock and then start doing DPS on top of healing. So that's something that I like to do a lot while I'm in dungeons. Yes, it can use up a lot of mana if you're not, you know, paying attention to how much mana you are actually using. But, you know, having the hots down really helps you not use as much mana. So if you want to do DPS and maybe you're scared to use too much mana, you can always just cast Lightning Bolt all the time because it uses absolutely no mana, okay? So yeah, this is kind of just a little bit of insight. Your gear for your character should all be spec'd around intellect. So with that being said, I hope this helps a little bit for you guys to get from 1 to 60. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them down in the comments below. Like I said, this is my first sort of WoW instruction video. Please don't give me too much hate. I'm trying to still kind of learn how do I want to do these types of videos. But with that being said, you know, comment down below if you have any questions. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more to come, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching.